I want to thank everyone first for being here to give your testimony today. What I'd like to do is go through the procedure so everyone knows what and how we're going to proceed today. Today is public hearing only. Tomorrow the bill has been scheduled for a possible work session, so today we'll be taking public testimony. Senator Cruz.
Yeah, Mayor. I'm looking, for example, at Detroit and Chicago, who have the sort of laws that you're talking about, and their gun violence levels are way above ours. How do you reconcile that?
Because there are a lot of factors involved in violence, just like there are a lot of factors involved in suicides. You know, we had 26 homicides in Portland last year and 129 suicides. A great deal of a large percentage of those suicides involve handguns as well. It's very difficult to unbundle all the causes and effects, and that's why no reasonable person can tell you that this bill in its passage will stop all gun violence. That won't happen. There will still be gun violence with legally purchased guns. We all believe, as law enforcement professionals and as a mayor in charge of law enforcement, that there will be less of it, because that collection of random events that puts the gun in the hand of that 17-year-old aiming back into that crowd might be a different set of events if that gun wasn't available.
So, but it would be hard to reach the assumption that the passage of this bill is going to necessarily keep the guns out of the hands of criminals, because there are many ways they can get them. They can mount back cars on a side street too. So
I think when you have a loophole this big, it's pretty obvious. If the city of Portland were to say, we're going to enforce drunk driving requirements on I-5, but not on I-205, I think we know that perhaps we'd see more drunk driving problems on I-205. So the presence of this loophole, I think, creates a pattern of behavior that we then see reflected in the main.
Mr. Brzezinski, if you're going to allow other people to comment from your group, you know, we want to take our chance to take comment with these people. They're way past their 15 minutes.
Sure.
And we would appreciate if you would give us a chance to make comments to these people and ask questions.
When you have an opportunity to come up here, you'll have your 2 minutes.
But why are you in charge of this meeting completely? We pay your wage. We hired you to do a job. And all of a sudden you're going to tell these people who's going to come in and comment? And now you extend these guys from 15 minutes to 25 minutes? You're out of course. You know, if you're going to run a meeting, run it right. So give us a chance. We are citizens of Oregon, and we appreciate our chance to talk. And we should have a chance just as much as these ladies, people up here, to ask these guys questions. And most of their talk has not even pertained to this law. It's about things that have happened.
Right.
I'm really sorry about it. But you aren't running this meeting correctly. Thank you. And I have a right to talk as much as any of the other people around.
There's a procedure, and if you're on the list, hopefully you will get there and you'll have your opportunity to say what you want to say. Thank you very much.
It really isn't fair for you to pick who will talk in this meeting. You work for us. We pay your wages with our tax dollars.
Well, since the President of the Senate has made me chair of this committee, the protocol is I get to call individuals up. We have a list. We work with proponents and opponents as to the list that they want from the specific people. Hopefully you'll be able to be there. And if you don't agree with that, take it up with the President of the Senate.
We will have to, because it's a farce.
Thank you very much.
When you run your meeting,
we'll have to
that's
actually
a farce. Thank you, Mr. Brzezinski.
You bet. Thank you very much.
You are the guy I thought you were.
All right.
Mr. Chair, I really do have a question for law enforcement, and maybe we have somebody else who can answer the question. I'm just curious. If I didn't know about this law and I decided that I would be a normal person, just kind of like give something of mine away, and it happened to be a gun, and it was to a friend, that would be an illegal transfer if this law was in place. How would anybody know? How would this work? How would you envision this law actually being enforced?
Again, I think with the enactment of laws, we do this every legislative session, and there's whether it's changes in traffic enforcement or changes in firearm regulations. There's a lot of press here to get the word out about what's going on. I think Oregonians are really focused on this legislation and keenly aware of the loophole that exists. I second what the mayor said. This isn't going to keep every illegal gun, every person who is prohibited from gaining access to a gun, but it closes a significant loophole, an easy way for felons to get guns. I'm a responsible gun owner. If I want to sell one of my firearms, there is no mechanism in place for me to ensure right now that the person I'm selling it to is going to
Mr.
be
Chair, I
selling.
believe a person could use the background check system now, but I'm just wondering how it can be enforced. How would anybody know? How would it be enforced? Because if this transfer took place, it just seems like, as it's written, it's not enforceable unless there's a registration. And I'm just wondering how anybody
So,
could
Cindy
it be
Thatcher, there
enforced.
are a number of people who have come here today who want to give public testimony. I attempted to move the second panel in. You asked some questions. I think the gentleman in the first row is correct. I think if you want to take up this conversation with anyone on this panel, you can do so either outside of the room, or you can wait and ask them to come to your office and see you now. I'd like to continue with our second panel. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank you for your orderliness and allowing for each individual to have their perspective and their